We OG, we OG. Oh no, G. You're not bullish enough. Yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Yeah. Experts on reload. Yeah. You're not bullish enough. Yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock. Ayy. Rooms is coming, everybody on a knot, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal Revolution, ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro. Got friends right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro. Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, like it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nookies on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me. Bitcoin's alive, what you gon' do? Mempool fees are high. Ordinal. Where does it stop? Nobody knows. It's a revolution, ayy. Bitcoin is the one, no substitution, ayy. With Shizzy and Yagobi, it's Ordinal Revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin Ordinal ecosystem. What is up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. We are live for the Ordinal Hour, and this one is going to be the best one because Bitcoin is under 100K. Wow, that was quick. This thing's been bouncing around up and down. Right now, it is around 99,883. Just a second ago, it was over 100K. Wild price action today. We saw it go up to 101, back down to 99. What's going to happen next? No one really knows. We do have some big things happening next week. Jerome Powell will speak again and probably cut rates. Everyone's thinking he's going to cut rates next week. Next week could be really bullish for Bitcoin. Raul Paul says Bitcoin has entered the banana zone. We're going to talk about that. And we're really going to kind of get into a lot of price predictions on a lot of assets and different stuff like that. Probably talk about your bags. If you guys want us to talk about your coin, put it in the chat. Let us know what coins you guys are holding, and we can kind of get into that. And it could be a really fun Friday type of show. It's going to be relaxed. It's going to be chill. It's going to be Ordinal Revolution in your face. But so without further ado, we bring in my partner here, as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What is up? What is up?
What's going on, dude? How you feeling today, bro? How you feeling this Friday? Wild week.
Yeah, it's just been volatile, right, for Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It looked like it was getting pretty aggressive, right? So maybe we got to wait a couple more days. Maybe I was wrong about the spark to the Santa rally, but nevertheless, I think we both agree where it's going to end up in December, right, towards the end of it. So there's a lot of data from the previous cycle that is off by, maybe a month or so, right? So it's gonna be fun diving in today.
Yeah, for sure. Let's get right into it. I talked about it a little bit in the intro, but we'll kind of get hit on it here. The Federal Reserve is likely to cut rates for the third time when it meets next week. We've been in a cutting zone, a very friendly time for stocks, crypto, and everything else, really, when the Fed cuts rates. I mean, we're coming down now to the mid fours. We got up to 5.25, 5.25, and now we're potentially coming down to about 4.25 next week. That's pretty big, but we need to get in the threes, and that could probably happen in January or February if this keeps going. But we need it to keep going. We need this one to be 25, we need the next one to be 25, and we need February to be 25. How do you feel with this next week? Do you think it's big, or do you think this is kind of like old news at this point?
Status quo.
Yeah.
That's what I'm feeling with it right now, right? It's an expectation. Anything happens outside of that, I think it would be a shocker, and that could,
Yeah.
affect the prices of Bitcoin and stuff. But as for now, I think it's going to be status quo, right?
Yeah.
We'll probably be in Santa rally by then, or at least like getting more aggressive. So that's what I
Yeah.
expect.
Well, I was listening to this pre-market prep, which is like a show that covers stocks. I just like to get an idea of what they're thinking. And they said that Santa Rally is usually a few days before Christmas. It's usually like the 18th, 19th, and usually goes to the week after Christmas, the 29th to the 30th. So to your point right now, I think we're a little early to that. But if that's the case, I mean, next Thursday and Friday could be super bullish.
Yeah, maybe we are too early to it, right? Just kind of ranging back to where we were, maybe a week ago. We
Yeah.
hit 102 yesterday. We broke above it, right? So I think that's what that bullish energy kind of was contagious a little bit. But as you can see, the second half of yesterday, it pulled back below 100K again. That 100K mark, man, I feel like we just need to get like a good distance away from it.
Yeah.
105, 107, something like that, because then the retraces will be like 103, 104, right? If you get to 107 and you do like a $4,000 retrace. So it's just right now there's such a psychological hurdle of back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Something we didn't expect, right? Because we were thinking once you cross 100K, you've made it, right? But nevertheless, it is what it is. And we just this is new territory, right, for Bitcoin. So
100%. All right, so let me bring up my thing here. So this is something really cool. So the U.S. states are now introducing their own strategic Bitcoin reserve legislations. Texas State Rep Giovanni Caprileone officially files bill to establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve for the state. So you guys become the second state to file this, being Pennsylvania being where I'm at, and Texas being
that's
where you're
wild.
at. It's pretty nuts. It's pretty nuts that we're both in one of the states that has filed for a Bitcoin strategic reserve.
Yep. You guys don't understand. Like, we're working behind the scenes with these legislators. No, I'm just kidding. But it is wild that like the first two states that create the Bitcoin reserve legislation are the two states we live in, right? So that's really cool.
Yep.
I said after PA, I was actually shocked that PA was. You were a little bit, because you were kind of like, wow, that's weird. It would be red state, or one of the square states like Wyoming or something, right? But it happened to be PA first, and then Texas next. So probably expecting something like Florida, Wyoming to pop up next, but this is gonna start the chain reaction, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And these are two of the biggest states. They both were red this last November, so that's another indication. We should have actually known that when you're Bitcoin friendly, you're usually a red state. So but we'll see more and more of that. Japanese lawmaker pushes for a national Bitcoin reserve, joining global calls to adopt Bitcoin as a strategic asset. So this is Japan now. Another one. Like, this is so, yeah, you guys are probably like, oh, they talk about this every day, but you guys don't understand. Like, this is another one after another one after another one. It's getting crazy, guys. And I don't think you guys are bullish enough, right? I mean, this is wild every day.
Yeah. And expect more. Expect more.
Yeah.
The more that, so I think we also need to look out for when they actually go into law, right? Or whenever the bill gets approved or whatever, right? Because right now, what it seems like is happening is a lot of influence. It's more like, hey, we should do this because we don't want to be last, right?
Yeah.
So
100%. So this next headline got me a little bit, and then I kept reading. So let me just get into this quick. Binance inflows hit 24 billion for 250 million users. User base in 2024. Then I was like, well, that doesn't sound good. $24 billion worth of crypto entering exchanges. But you keep reading, and it says they say that the inflows surpassed those of 10 other exchanges combined, attributing to the growth to a global surge in adoption of digital assets. So they're basically saying here that a lot of it is fiat coming onto these exchanges to buy crypto for the very first time. And 250 million users for Binance is absolutely insane. So
it is, but when you look at the volume that Binance pushes for even new tokens, it's not really that insane, because they are the I would say for volume, they're probably the leader, right? They are the leader. Coinbase is I think probably the leader with brand recognition and everything, but like I think total volume, Binance probably has that #1 spot. Now, this is also bullish because now people are starting to trust crypto, Bitcoin, more than their fiat, right? Because they're offloading.
Yeah.
Now, this could be a normal stage of, you know, before retail really gets in and stuff like that. But nevertheless, I think this is bullish. And we were looking at charts before the show, and even like us, we're in this every single day, guys, every single day, and we're just like really anticipating whenever the entire market takes off, and we realize, hey, we're even early right now, like our mental process right now. So typically starts off in February, but this is good news that it's already starting to onboard fiat, you know, for Binance. So
yeah, man. So $24 billion has come online this year. I can't imagine what next year is going to look like. It's going to be pretty wild.
Yeah,
I
agree.
Billionaire Dan Morehead says that U.S. stores $600 billion in gold. It's kind of crazy, he says. Go to digital gold, he says. Bitcoin is much better. Dan Morehead, he has Morehead Capital. Anthony Pompliano, who I think everyone knows in the space, worked for Dan Morehead for years. He was until he started his own Pomp Ventures. But what do you think about this? I mean, it's pretty normal, but then he goes on CNBC and says this. He's being invited on these mainstream channels where normies live.
This is going to be a big war. I think that's going to continue on, right? Like it hasn't been really in the public right now, other than like Peter Schiff kind of joking and trolling with Bitcoiners and gold. But I think there is going to be other people from the gold side that come out. But the momentum's all on Bitcoin side, right? I mean, you have this administration. Donald Trump was at the Bitcoin conference. You know, there were statements and promises made, and so I think they're just a bit scared, the gold side. And then somebody like Dan Morehead is bullish because he's thinking, hey, you know, this could be like, you know, our chance to make a chess move here and offload gold and be the leader in Bitcoin reserves.
That would be the biggest move ever, and I'm actually hoping for it.
Yeah.
U.S. spot Bitcoin ETF have now seen inflows for 11 trading days in a row. This is the first time since it opened in January that we've seen 11 days in a row of inflows into the Bitcoin ETF. It doesn't feel that way, though, does it?
Well, I mean, it kind of does. Like, look, Bitcoin has been getting bullish every once in a while, right? Getting back to 102 yesterday, and you know, it's dipped all the way back, like to liquidate some longs and hit stop losses on the way down. It hit 94,000 3 days ago, right? But it's so quick, and then it jumps right back up. So, you know, we were in a spaces, Ordinal Hive space, shout out to them yesterday. And I think it was Alpha Gamer, shout out to him as well. I was talking about how like the ETFs and entities are the ones that are purchasing this Bitcoin. And when you think about it, like who's taking profit then? It's probably some of these, you know, OG Bitcoiners that were like, oh, I'm taking profit at 100K, you know, and stuff like that. So even though it's like, it doesn't seem like we're overly like uber bullish every day. I don't think we're supposed to be right now. Like Bitcoin is trending up still, you know what I mean? And that's all that matters. So
I agree. Yep. I just didn't realize that 11 days in a row, and today looks like it's another day of pumpiness. So we can see 12 days in a row, but we'll see. And then Monday, who knows? We can keep it going. But publicly traded mining company Riot buys another 5,117 Bitcoin. So again, these miners are not selling. They're actually, for the first time ever, they're doing the opposite and buying more. I mean, that's enough indication to tell me the freaking full story here of what's about to happen.
Yeah, I mean, like I wasn't in the space like every single day like we are now, but I was in enough to where I remember headlines, and I never saw these type of headlines from the miners to where they were purchasing Bitcoin all the time, right? It was more about, are they selling the Bitcoin they're mining or not? You know, now they're purchasing Bitcoin, which is wild because it's like they know what's coming. They're well connected. Riot, Marathon, these publicly traded companies are well connected with what's going on in the stock market, right? So they can see, or probably are hearing what's happening with the ETF and stuff. So they're prepping, it sounds like, you know. So
getting ready for something big, man. And Raul Paul says Bitcoin has entered the banana zone. So this is something he's been talking about for a while. The banana zone is about 6 months long. He's saying Bitcoin has entered it in December, which means we can go to about May of just upward momentum, according to him. But he says that, you know, the banana zone for the altcoins is going to come after that. He's saying in the summer to late fall. I think that all kind of makes sense to kind of how we're feeling right now as well.
Yeah, I think accumulation heavy accumulation starts in early next year, though. You start to see if you look at the 4-year template from 2020, it really started kicking off in January, where those prices went up for BNB, Uniswap. You know, it was January of 2020, and so I think it like will be kind of like what Bitcoin's going through right now, like a creep up, crawl up, and then aggressive into the summer of May. Right, that's where I think it'll probably start to toppy. Is gonna where I think that happens. So I think he's probably right on point with that. Maybe a little bit off in terms of time period, but not by much.
Well, XRP has done what BNB did, right? I mean, Cardano has done with some alts. I mean, dude, I mean, it's up 5x. It was at 30 cents in August.
if you look at what I'm talking about, it's completely like up only for like 2-3 months. That's different than what XRP
but
and
this
I think
could
Cardano,
be the first month of that. If XRP goes to $4,
I think I think it was a spark. Look, I think that the tokens that went up kind of aggressively because it was aggressive compared to its counterparts, right? But it wasn't like bull run aggressive, where like because during that time it doesn't stop for about 3 months. I mean, it
30
stopped.
cents
Like
to $3.
XRP has pulled back, though, is my point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pulled
that's
back
what I'm saying.
bit,
So
but pullbacks are very normal for BNB as well. It wasn't just up only.
It's not going to happen. My point is that once it starts in like either January or February, that's not going to stop until like summer. Is my point. You know, and then people will be like, "That was alt season just now."
No, I disagree.
For me,
I think we see 10-day stops. We definitely see 10-day stops all the way through.
I
was following BNB last time, dude. It wasn't just straight up.
Well, we can look at the charts.
Yeah.
You know, so if you pull up the chart and you go to all, there might have been some sort of let's see here. So it started.
All I'm saying is there's a lot of sideways, even in a bull run, and it's not like insane, but it's at least a week, 10 days.
Yeah,
that's kind of what we're seeing.
And then you peak in the summer, right? So it went from like, well, BNB was a little bit late to start, so it was like the middle of January and went all the way up until the end, almost the end of the 21st of February. So that's a good month of like hyper aggression, right? But also it went from like $38 to almost 254. And then it did take like a little break. I think it was like 10-day break, and then it went to 661. So that's I feel like that's like a different experience than what XRP just went through.
I don't know, 30 cents to $3.
I think XRP caught up, though. You have to understand, like there was tokens like Cardano and XRP that were the community was not happy about their prices because they were just like, when are we going to move? Where are we going to move? And I think people were like, okay, regulations coming in, and big whales were like, okay, now's the time to get into these coins because they need to catch up, and then they're going to do even better in January, February, March, April. So
you have to remember the halving for 2020 was in May. Having for 2024 was in April. Every halving is 1 month sooner. So I think the bull run is 1 month ahead of last push forward a little bit. And I think we're in January right now of 2020 and not in December. If you want to compare the charts.
Well, then because we started in April. Yeah, we started that. We had the halving in April of this year. Yeah, I mean that could definitely be the case. So we shall see. We shall see. That could be the reason why we're a little bit off whenever you compare them.
Yeah, 100%. So yesterday they had Dan Moorhead. Today CNBC has a Safe Dean Malas. He is the author of Bitcoin Standard. I probably jacked up his name. It's really hard to read, but I think it's Safe Dean Moyes and something like that. And he went on CNBC today to educate them. And he basically told them that Bitcoin can't be found. Bitcoin, you can't dig a hole and find Bitcoin. And that's why Bitcoin is a better asset than gold. Again, 2 days in a row, CNBC is pushing Bitcoin. I mean, you don't have these guys on and expect anything else. Like they were hoping for that, in my opinion.
Yeah, I actually love the host for CNBC. He actually is all in on Bitcoin. He's a little older gentleman, right? But I can't remember his name. But he like goes to war about Bitcoin because he calls Peter Schiff out left or right.
He does.
He's like, you were wrong. Let's just admit it. You were wrong and blah, blah, blah. But so I think that he's probably trying to advocate for it as well. I mean, which makes sense. Whether you're for Bitcoin or not, like it is what it is. The data is, you know, factual. So I think at this point they can't really deny it, and they want to have more guests on that can educate people about it. So that's good for them.
But it's not just about Bitcoin. These two guys have both said back-to-back days, sell Bitcoin. I mean, sell gold, buy Bitcoin. Like this is back-to-back 2 days in a row. This is to me, this is something that they're pushing for.
Yep.
So,
I thought his name was Joe. So Mike Bennett said, "Yo, you're referring to Joe." Yeah, I thought his name was Joe, but then I remembered that there was another show on MSNBC that I can't stand, where it's like that Joe, Morning Joe or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like, anyways.
All right, let's get in that Bitcoin fear and greed. Last Friday was a 72 headed into the weekend. Yesterday was an 83. Where do you think we are? My hint for you today is we're pretty centered in between there.
81, 80.
Well, listen to my clue again.
What were we before?
72.
You said 83.
Yes, last week we were a 72. Yesterday we were 83, and we're kind of smack dab in there. I threw you a softball,
so like
bro.
76. Yeah, I was just all I heard was 83, so I didn't try to do the math on the first number. I didn't remember what you said.
It's all
So,
good.
but yeah, I mean,
it's all good, man.
No shocker, right? Like it's been back and forth recently, so no shocker that we're kind of bouncing around everywhere.
Yeah.
But
extreme greed yesterday, greed today. I think we're gonna be in the 90s next week. Am I wrong for that? I think Thursday and Friday of next week we're gonna be in the 90s.
I mean, that's what I've been saying this entire time. That in the middle of the month is when we're gonna get a bit hyper aggressive for Bitcoin, but I don't know, man. Like I just feel like it's like juking us out left and right now, right? In terms of where it wants to go. But yes, I would say if I had to put money on it, I would say that we would be higher, closer to the 90s with the fear and greed next week, middle of next week, I would say, because you need a couple days to get there, right? But we'll see, man. We'll see.
Yep. All right, we talk about price the whole day. Let's kind of get into it, but it's brought to you guys by BitPerp. BitPerp is going to be the leading leverage trading platform in the Bitcoin ecosystem. They're going to be on Botonix, the spider chain. Really looking forward to that. They were delayed a little bit because of Botonix's faucet, but that they're getting that all settled up and getting it good to go. So next week, we're hoping to be dropping the BitPerp paper trading competition. You guys can paper trade, go long, 100x long, paper trade that. Get as much as you possibly can so you guys can get BTP. I'm confident next week, if you're paper trading only, if you go long, you'll have a good week. So definitely take control of that. Take control of your destiny. It's potentially free money, and play around and learn a little bit. And if you are a member of the Ordinal Revolution YouTube channel, you guys will get a special video this weekend, kind of breaking down trading opportunities and stuff like that by my guy Yagobi here. So check out that tomorrow. We'll have the thing up. If you are a member, you can check exactly what time it is in your time zone. It'll be around 9 a.m. Central tomorrow or Eastern.
So 8 a.m. Central. And guys, I'm not a TA expert or anything like that. We just had a couple of requests in terms of like, what do these indicators mean? And that's what we're going to go over, just kind of foundational things. So should be fun. You know, I want it to be interactive. So 8 a.m. Central tomorrow morning.
Yep. Yeah, man.
But before we get into the Bitcoin price action, guys, if you're on the YouTube side, please smash that like for us. It helps us a ton. And subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, and turn your notifications on so you know when we go live. On the X side, hit that live like as well, and share the space for us, guys. Thank you so much for the support. But let's jump into the Bitcoin price action here. Brought to you guys by the wonderful people at BitPerp. All right, let's take a looky. So I am on the hour chart is where we're going to start, right? You can see here that we did get all the way to 102,500 yesterday, right? So that felt really good. And then all of a sudden we're like, nope. We're going to try to hit some stop losses for some greedy people on the way down, and got all the way down to 99,300, right? And then we've been kind of chopping sideways with an uptrend is what it's felt like, and it looks like right here. So we came out of pretty much two strong buy pressure segments here on the MACD, or sorry, sell pressure segments on the MACD right here. And then we try to start like a buy pressure one, which didn't get really aggressive or anything. But like I said, it was like this consolidation with uptrend slow uptrend right here. But we did spike up again to like 101,500, and then now we're coming right back down. So it's been a chop kind of back and forth, really is what it feels like, right? What to expect for the second half of today? Honestly, heading into the weekend, I don't expect any major thrust up or down for Bitcoin, right? Maybe something on Sunday. Sunday is typically a day on the weekend that we will see some, hyper action if it happens over the weekend. But typically, weekends are for just kind of chop back and forth. But what I'm seeing for the second half of today is really indecisiveness, right? That's what it looks like on the MACD. It seems like we don't really want to go with strong buy pressure. We just came out of sell pressure. So might see something like coming out of buy pressure and going back into sell pressure, but also something similar to where it's not very strong, and then maybe getting a strong thrust up. We'll see. But that's, complete speculation, right? It's just kind of guessing what's going to happen there. But what the stochastic's showing us is that we have been in overbought for let's see, about a little bit over an hour and a half is what it's showing me, right? And then so it looks like it wants to point back down. If that's the case, we might head down below 100K again. On the 8-hour chart, what I'm seeing is something kind of similar here, right? You're seeing that weaken up here and then wanting to head down as well. Let me make sure that indicator is correct here. I'm going to pull it up on trading view here to kind of make sure, because I want to make sure that the 8-hour is looking similar. Oh yeah, it's kind of similar. Very, very similar. Man, it's crazy how the 8-hour matches up so much with the 1-hour chart in terms of the indicator, man. Right? Because I was like, that's too close to what I'm seeing from the other chart. Yeah. So for the weekly, I'm going to stick to my guns on it. I'm going to say, the middle of the month, we'll get a little bit more hyper aggressive, and Bitcoin will start to run. Look, if it's going to get to that 110, even 110,000 mark, we got to probably start running, I would say, here in the next couple of days. So maybe beginning of next week or in the middle of next week. So that's what I'm seeing for the Bitcoin price action there.
Yeah, man. I'm still bullish, man. I'm bullish on today. I think we're gonna get to like 102,000 today. I'm just looking at what you kind of showing me, and I don't know, man. I just see bullish. I did put a today's poll today is, are you bullish or bearish? And 78% of them are bullish. So I was actually expecting a higher number, guys. You guys are a little bit not bullish enough here, but I definitely like that we're at least in the 70s there. But let's get into the roll call. Let's see who is here every single day. If you're new here, we do a roll call. I want to let you guys know too, if you guys ever need help, please reach out to us. We can definitely walk you through. Like this morning, one of our listeners hit me up and said, "Yay, I'm going to send for my X-First to my Uniset. I don't want to make a mistake. Is there any way you can kind of help me out?" So I invited them in here in StreamYard, and we kind of just, I walked him through, how to do it on my screen. And he said, "Thanks a lot, man. Really helps you. If anyone ever needs help, feel free. I mean, as long as I have the time, and it works out. This morning, I just got to my desk and I saw his message, so it was easy for me. But just let me know if you guys ever need help with anything. We're definitely, especially if you're a part of the Team Ordinal Revolution, we got your back, guys. Let's get into the roll call here. Mats, he says, Universe Tap launched a stamps marketplace yesterday. Fastest builders in Web3. Yeah.
Wow.
Those guys are crazy over there. So, yeah. But shout out to you, Mats. You are number one today. You are the guy. Congratulations. Today is your day. Nothing for love for my guy, Mats, man. And then number 2 spot, we got Pelpa. Shout out to Pelpa. That's our guy. Tim Baker, AODR in the house. Shout out to you, my friend. Pelpa says, what is in the ghosty is going on? Pledging the spooky token. Yeah, I'm bearish on that whole situation.
Oh, man.
I wasn't happy with that whole thing. Ghosty to ghosty tap, and then spooky, and it's just I am kind of bearish on tap. Is that fair?
I think it is fair. I think it's fair. The DMT side is really kind of holding that up, I feel like, right now.
Yeah, 100%.
I will say this though, like Ghosty out of all the projects on there, I would say Ghosty has the strongest business model. But like they do need to probably get there. But I'm talking outside DMT. I'm talking about more of the other projects. Like, in terms of being a swap, earning fees, they've earned revenue this entire time.
Yeah. That's true.
Right? So the only thing about them though is stop after this token, bro. Like, don't do no more.
Yeah, I know.
Spooky, make spooky it, and that's it, man.
And you got 0.4 to spooky to every ghosty that you held. I don't know. I don't know. Just not happy
Yeah.
with it. I think they got to do something for the community there. WebDro is here. Shout out to WebDro with a Marl. Shout out to you, my friend. Yasher, one of our mods. We appreciate Yasher every single day. Appreciate you, my
Yes,
friend.
sir.
And then we have Chief Axel, one of our new mods. I just want to thank you, Chief
Congrats.
Axel, for always being a member here and just really pushing the levels of success for us. And you're definitely one of our guys. We met you in Nashville, which was phenomenal. So shout out to Chief Axel. Welcome aboard, my friend. And another one of our new mods here, a Nighthawk UXL. Appreciate you, man. I want to add you because you're just such a amazing person, man. And I just want to wish you winning every single day. And I hope you are. And I think you are, because you got the Memento Mori airdrop. This guy, he's in further than I am sometimes. So shout out to you. And then in the next spot, we got, and if there's anyone else who wants to be a mod, obviously, kind of I don't even know what the limit of mods that we can have, but we'll max out the limit if we can. Let me know if you're interested.
Well,
and
we also need to make sure that they're consistent and stuff like that, right?
100%, 100%.
Yeah.
If you're not consistent, we'll have to take you down and put someone else once we get to that limit, of course. But No is here. Joko is here. Shout out to Joko. It's our guy, the freaking Goosenal, one of the few people rocking Goosenals these days. Do you think the Goosenals fell off? I mean, I just feel like that level of PFP
energy.
I don't see that anymore. There, man. I don't see the Goosenals really doing their thing.
The Goosenals did something. They did something really special during that period, right? Like they were able to capture a community from the east and the west. You know, there's a lot of Chinese and stuff with Goosenal PFPs and stuff like that. So I think that whoever is kind of still behind the Goosenals needs to realize that there's still an opportunity there, right? You know, but maybe they're waiting for the right time. I'm not sure, right? Because like that energy was definitely like really strong during that period. So hopefully they bring it back.
100%. Yep. Mempool Punk is here. Shout out to Mempool Punk, Ordinals Chips, and Ordinals Tweets, the Brothers of Destruction. Yagobi and Gold UTXO saw the seeds of truth and justice and power will come with you. Thank you. Steamy J is here. ASAP Benji is in the house. We got WebDro again. Mats is here. Zeprisky is here. I gotta say your name right. I apologize. I'm gonna call you Zap. My guy Zap. Shout out to you, my friend. Oh, we got the panty raider, bro. We finally found him. The guy who's been raiding the panty drawers. He has finally come to the Ordinal Revolution. Great name, by the way. But thank you. It's your first time making roll call. I appreciate you. Come more often because your name's fun to say. Anaki is here.
The show's starting to get weird. No, I'm just kidding.
Yup. Then we have Yasher, really, as one of our, obviously I said you already, but let's keep calling you out. Really? Is that the question? What was it? I would love to. I don't know what you're talking about. I want to know, though. Mike Bennett is here. Another one of our mods here. Danny Boy, D Blocks, GM, y'all. Shout out to Danny Boy. Mike Bennett, again. He says, not with price ranging? Not sure. I Walk Alone says, GM, hey, Shizzy, what happened to Glizzy? Fractal is just boring, bro. Fractal is just, there's no if you go look at the bridging, there's no one bridging there right now. It's very boring. It's I do still think Glizzy's gonna do really well, but it just lost all of its momentum right now with because there's no volume right now going into Fractal. Ant-Man is here. I Walk Alone is here. Chain Watcher is here. Shout out to Chain Watcher. Mike Bennett says, you're referring to a Joe. That's MSNBC Joe on CNBC. Joe is on CNBC. Okay. And then Yash said, I need help, Shizzy. I want to get more bullish. All right, this is what you do. All right, you want to light your hair on fire and run around and scream Bitcoin. That's what I do. That's why I'm going bald. But no, I'm just kidding. I got you, bro.
That was pretty specific instructions, man. I almost feel like you do that.
I do, man. I do. Mr. Sheedy is here. That's another one of our guys, man. I love Mr. Sheedy. Katie N is here. EF is here. Zap again. And every time, Yasher says, every time I hear about Fractal, I get sad. Such a good chain, and no one is doing it anymore. Yeah, I know. I feel the same way, man. It's just such a dead environment right now.
Well, we're gonna get into that a little bit later, a little bit deeper. So,
well, actually, right now, the Bitcoin.
Really? Are you done with the roll call?
Yeah, roll call is done. That's it.
Okay,
nice, everybody.
Nice.
All right, so top Bitcoin and UTXO ecosystem plays. That's the title of the show today, guys. I would love to know what your opinion are, guys. Put it in the chat. Let us know what you guys think are the top Bitcoin and UTXO ecosystem plays. There's not many. So I think that's kind of easy now. I'm thinking about it, but what do you?
What have we
got? I mean, how many we got?
I mean, there's not like a ton, but I think there's like a decent amount. Well, no. We got, so, there's different levels of them, right? Like there's chain tokens, and then I think there's some project ones, and they're all utility. So if we miss like memes and stuff, don't worry, that's intentional, because memes will do what they're gonna do, right? Like we all think that Doggo to the Moon is gonna do well, but this is more about like utility and stuff like that. So yeah, shit, so far I have 1, 2, 3, 4 that are ready to go to kind of talk about, right? So yeah, so before we get into it, yeah, I think it's fair to put Lucky Coin up there as well, because I saw Yasher have it up there, just because it is part of that UTXO history and stuff like that. The one that I did leave off though is Doge, and the reason why, I'll tell you why though. It's because like the users of like these other chains like Lucky and Bells, they're like, a lot of them came from the Ordinals community and started to purchase into that. Right now, there are some crossover for Doginals, but I just feel like Doginals is kind of quieted down or whatever. So, and Doge is Doge, right? Like it's gone up. It's going to get the attention and all that stuff. So that's why we didn't kind of start off with that one. But yeah. So let's let me actually pull up this one, and then we'll jump right in. Give me 1 second. All right, cool. So we were just talking, Shizzy and I, and let's go over the ecosystem plays, right? Because we both think that this is going to be a narrative that goes strong, but it might take getting into February, maybe Arch Network also launching and stuff like that for the attention to come, but it will come. We both believe. So let's start off with kind of good old stacks like we have before. I have stacks up right now. It's sitting at $2.28. So the problem I've had with stacks is what's being built on it, right? There's a lot of talk about it, and it sounds great. They're great at painting pictures in people's imaginations, but when it comes to application and usage, it just doesn't pan out very well, right? You have people that are their biggest supporters, like Call Me Hunch, that says he literally posts a bear post about it. I experienced the Nakamoto upgrade, and it does seem more seamless, but then sometimes it just craps out and stuff like that. And so to me, that doesn't sound very confident, right? But the coin itself, I'll say, is where I'm most bullish on it, and it's because it's had support for 6, 7, how many ever years, right? Like maybe 10, almost 10 years, because it launched, I think, in 15 or 16. But you're looking at a $3.44 billion market cap. What do you think about my statements and stuff? Do you think it's fair, or do you think I'm too harsh on stacks?
No, I think you're more than fair. I think stacks needs some hype. I feel like they're only, holy crap, they're only something's happened, but they're only big because they're a Bitcoin leverage play, right? They're only big because they're on exchanges. The use case just doesn't feel like it's happening with that chain. I mean, it's just being traded on exchanges. I don't see much volume actually on chain at all, and I could be wrong, but I mean, come on.
But yeah, I mean, when I look at the volume of stacks, it's usually ranked like number 7 or 8 with the Bitcoin sidechains. I'm gonna pull it up right now, but to me, I was pretty shocked when we first started kind of tracking that. Because I was like, man, Stacks has been out forever. People talk about like Welsh is a meme coin on Stacks, right? Or Corgi, or is it Welsh? It's Welsh.
There's a couple. It's Welsh, yeah.
Yeah, and people were pretty, hype about that. And so for me, I was like, oh, there's definitely volume there. But then when I looked, there's not much volume. Like I'm looking at the 24-hour right now. I'll pull it up here. Yeah. But if you look at the 24-hour volume ranked, and this is also shocking, BOB is really taking charge here. So I don't know who is building what on BOB in terms of volume, but we can probably dig into that later. But then you have Core number 2, which isn't really that shocking to me because they've been brought on by Coinbase right from launch. So I think this was definitely a VC play from the beginning. That's a token we should actually maybe look at a little bit. Another surprise, though, Rootstock has really emerged the past 2 weeks whenever I've been looking at this, right? It's typically either Bob or Core number 1 and 2, and then Merlin, or Merlin's either 1 and 2 and then one of these, right? But Rootstock has really kind of jumped in there. But then I'm looking for Stacks, and Stacks is showing me $19,000 of volume. 19,400. What is going on? I mean, you got Merlin at 2 million. Okay, not a huge amount, but they're consistent at least, right?
Yeah.
So they're between 2 and 5 million typically every day. Then you got Rootstock at 5, Core at 5, and then Bob at 17 million right here, pretty much. And then it jumps to like Stacks at 19,000. So
Could you
to
go
me,
into Stacks and look at
yeah.
if you go into Stacks there, so kind of go down, kind of go into these exchanges here. How much are they showing? Are they showing much usage?
So the problem is it doesn't show the volume for
Okay.
these.
I
Yeah,
got
it doesn't show the volume for these, right? So maybe it has to do with some of the reporting. I mean, I
Yeah.
know Alex is a DEX, right? You can see Alex is a DEX. Stack Swap, I haven't really heard of. What is this, Veller? That is something that I have heard
Yeah,
of. I
me
have
too.
heard of Veller, so I don't know if Veller is something that's going to be bigger than Alex in the future. But the main DEX that we know about is Alex, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, if
I don't
Alex
know.
is only doing $14,000, 15, I mean, that's crazy. I mean, I think a lot of the volume happens on Alex. I mean, it could happen on that other one, but I mean, Alex is the top exchange there. I don't know. I don't know what it's hard, right? It's really hard because
Do you think it's the
just
reporting is the problem? Because if that's the
well, if
problem, why wouldn't they fix that?
you're not reporting your stuff to DeFi Llama, you don't want to win. You know what I mean? Like that's how people find you. Like, why wouldn't you? That would be my number one. Like, if I was a CEO or in charge of that stuff, there, I'd be like, we need to get accurate information to DeFi Llama because that's how we're going to get found. That's how when I was in DeFi, I'd only invest in things with high amounts of TVL, right? So
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, you look here on Veller and you see 329.7 thousand and 24-hour volume for Stacks, whatever this liquidity pool is, right? So that's interesting. That's interesting. So maybe they aren't reporting it correctly, or but I would get that fixed for sure because of shows like ours, right? That's
Mhm.
going to go over this. And so if that's the case, but anyways, all right, let's do a little bit of a price prediction for Stacks. Let's talk about like May. Let's say May 2025, which I think that's a fair time period of maybe like kind of toppy, right? Because if you look at April of 2021 was the last the first spike up of that last bull run was April 5th, and then you got to May. And May, I guess, was kind of coming down a little bit for Stacks. So let's just say like middle of April, April 15th. At this point, the price was $2.66. So April 15th of 2025, where do you think the price sits for Stacks?
I'm gonna go with $28. And
wow.
I'm saying that not based on Stacks the chain, but I'm going to go with Stacks that is traded on Binance, right? Stacks that is traded on Coinbase, because they treat Stacks as a leveraged play. Obviously, now there's more leveraged plays. I mean, Ordi, Sats, Dog, than ever before. But still, I still think the old school traders, the guys with big bank who like safety, they're going to go into something safe like here, and I think this can easily do a 10 to 15x here.
All right, so I'm gonna write these down.
Yeah.
So April of 2025, Stacks. You say $28?
$28.
Okay, I say Stacks in April of 2025 at the peak.
What do you guys think? Put your number in there. I want to hear you guys. Let me know your number here. What do you think Stacks going to be in April of 2025?
Yeah, I'm looking at the circulating supply at 1.5 billion. Some more will be mined out, but not that. I don't think it'll be that drastic, right? So I'm gonna say 35. I'm gonna go a little higher than you.
You just said you said it like you were gonna go 12.
No, but like I'm just trying to think about like when things are like Pico top, right? You have to remember like when things get Pico top, it gets aggressive and crazy, right? So that's why I'm thinking maybe 35 with that. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So we both, I think we both 4 max. 4. Wow.
4x, I think he's talking about. So he's saying $10.
Yeah. Interesting. Interesting.
So what was your final answer? 36?
Yeah, 35.
35.
And I think that's like Pico top when everything's crazy.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, so I think we both can agree that Stacks is pretty solid with it's not going anywhere. It's safe with that. None of this financial advice, but that's just kind of what we both agree upon with that.
Yep.
All right, which one do you want to talk about next? So I have Merlin up here. I have Fractal. I have Bells. I have Lucky. We can talk about any other token as well. And guys, you guys can put a token in the chat that we can go over. So
yeah, let's go by market cap. What's the next biggest market cap, Merlin?
I believe so.
Does Bob have a coin? Does these other places have coins? Rootstock?
I don't think Bob does, but Core does.
Yeah.
I want to put Core in here as well because that's one that we need to definitely look at.
But let's start paying attention to Core.
Yeah, let's take a look at Merlin chain here. Merlin token at 33.54. So, we were in a conversation yesterday with somebody in the East that we have a weekly meeting with, and they were kind of talking about like the volatility of Merle, which I think was a statement because Merle got all the way to 50 cents and then pulled back down to like 28, but then bounced quickly back to where it's kind of sitting right now. It's starting to show some more strength where it has been the past couple of days. But what do you think is causing that volatility, and how does it kind of stay more consistent, do you think?
I think this is heavily traded. I think people are really trading this and enjoy trading it because they can kind of predict where it's going. And I just think that this is just trader games. So guys getting in, at 22 cents and getting out at 45 cents and just kind of repeating that cycle. And if you look at the chart there, looks like it's consolidation as well. So it could be many different things. It looks trader games. Maybe people, big guys wanting to get in this, but don't want to get in at 45 cents. They're waiting for it to come down, or maybe they're pushing it down. It definitely looks like accumulation though. For sure. For the last, I want to say like 6 months, you could have got this anywhere between 18 cents and 40 cents, and I think you're gonna be very happy with that.
Yeah, and also because of the way they did their TGE, it was similar to Blast, to where people were staking on the chain, and then obviously it's kind of like Magic Eden, right? What it went through to the sell off and then consolidation, and then I think some investors probably had to wait a long time. So I think there was probably when it caught up there was probably some investors that like sold out, but the information we got was that most of those investors are out completely now.
Yeah.
So there is a very, very small sliver, I think, of vested time left for certain people, right? So I think that's a good thing for sure. So that allows it to kind of breathe up until maybe like February, to where it can start to get hyper aggressive. So what does Merlin chain have got going for itself? We know that the Telegram bots, we're actually going to do a recording after the show today for a tutorial on how to use that. Particle Network's Universal X, I think, is going to be amazing and heavily adopted. So they have that. They have BTC.fun that just launched Party, which by the way, the volume and the price is picking back up now. And then there's other builders that we can't really talk about yet, right, that are coming to the space. You have Emblem Vault, which is an OG in the Bitcoin space and Ethereum, with being able to vault like rare Pepes. And now they're going to add a service to some of these projects to make bridging like one gas price. So that's going to be a lot more, I guess, convenient. Right. So there's a lot going on with Merlin behind the scenes. So if you were to slap a price prediction for, Pico top in April or May, whatever, like we don't have to get the exact date right. I'm more worried about like focused on the top part. What would you put for Merle?
I've said it since April of last year. I think it's gonna be $8. $8 has always been my target. Whether that's 750, whether that's $8.25, but I think it's between there. I think it's going to be $8.
I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just feeling a little frisky today, but I'm gonna say 11.50.
Oh my God, bro! Why did you become more bullish than me?
Well, I'm just going off of some of the, I think, expectations of some people also in the space that we've talked to. And then once things get going in terms of momentum, I know what Jeff can do, right? We saw it with the BRC 420s and stuff like that. And so I think we're going to be just in a really strong momentous period at that time. So I wouldn't be shocked if this tops out at like 11.50 or $12. So
I'm not bullish enough, apparently. What is going on
maybe
today,
not
bro? You
today.
woke
Maybe
up,
not today.
woke up and and chose violence.
All right, all right. We'd love to, keep hearing your guys' thoughts and stuff. So, if you have any tokens you want us to jump in, let us know. Let's see if there's any comments here.
Yasher wants us to look at every coin under the sun. Shout out to Yasher. Yeah.
Let's see. Mike Bennett says, "I minted PSYOP cat. Maybe I should buy more."
You can't. You can't mint Cyapcat. It wasn't possible. It was 100%
Oh,
airdrop.
I think he meant he picked it up right off a secondary.
Okay.
Yasher says, "Yeah, it's solid for sure, but I don't see it gonna go up that much." And then he lists off like 8 different tokens for us to go over. I Walk Alone says, "Everything is still cheap because we're still super early in Fractal." I agree with that. Yeah, Fractal does seem a bit depressing, but I think it's very early still. So, one thing that can happen there is development in a quick way, right? Like Cat 20, they're starting to have that conversation back as well. Yep. Here's a good bit of information from Yasher. He says each Chinese trader has Lucky Coin in a wallet for luck. They also give Lucky Coin as a gift to one another. The next halving of Lucky Coin is on Chinese New Year. Interesting.
Isn't Lucky its own chain with its own wallet? I don't understand that.
Yeah, they probably have to download
bells. Yeah. I just understand how you can have it in every wallet. I mean, we would only have it in the Lucky wallet.
No, they're saying each Chinese trader has Lucky Coin in a wallet for luck. They're saying that they do it as like superstition.
I thought he meant
they buy.
they put one in every wallet.
Okay. No.
Wow, I Walk Alone said I'm not bullish enough. What is going on today, man? Wow, we got a bunch of I'm not bullish enoughs in here. Let's go. Yeah, it's a chain. It's a Chrome wallet. Yeah, okay. I got you. So
yep.
So on the topic of Lucky Coin, the only reason, the only reason I don't like Lucky Coin is Danny Plainville. He's like the big guy over there. He seems to be one of the leaders in the space, and I just can't stand the guy. Honestly, that's the only reason why I'm bearish on it. If he wasn't in it, I probably would be bullish on it. But anything that guy touches seems to be a grift.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely toxic traits there, right? So I think that's the biggest thing with that. But hey, look, Lucky Coin has performed well, though. You can't deny that. It's at $111 million market cap. So to all the community that's listening in, if you've had success with Lucky, then more power to you, man. I'll say that. All right, let's move on to the next thing here. All right, let's get to Fractal, since that has been a little bit of a topic of conversation in the chat. Fractal, came into the space to try to kind of build this scalable chain that was forked off of Bitcoin. They wanted it to be as close to Bitcoin as possible. Added OpCat. It was voted on by the community. And then they basically brought the modular swap over and called it Pizza Swap. It's definitely better than the modular swap on Bitcoin mainnet. But it still seemed like there was barrier of entry because you did have to continue. You had to bridge in, so extra steps and all that stuff. And then you had Cat 20, which is a totally different part of it. But there's a lot of people that were getting in Fractal in the beginning, and it jumped to like almost $30, right? $26. And then some of those people that were buying on the way up ended up getting wrecked hard, right? Because it got all the way down to like $4, which is actually, it's at $4.56 right now. And there's a big problem with like minor sell down and stuff like that. But it should have been expected, in my opinion, because if you look at how the Q4 goes with the halving year, Bitcoin's really the focus. Everything else isn't until the beginning of next year. And so how do you look at Fractal right now, and how do you look at their future?
Fractal is dead. I mean, can it come back? Yeah, of course it can come back, but right now, like looking at it in December, there's no volume like going on anywhere. I mean, all the volume is fake on Pizza Swap. You can kind of go in and see it's $2 being traded back and forth. It's just, it's market makers coming in, and it just, I don't know, man. I'm just not bullish on it right now. It's just, to me, I think the high for this cycle's in at that $39. I don't think it gets past there. Just because there's 75,000 tokens coming online every single day, and these miners are dumping this as fast as they get it. You have to remember who is mining Litecoin, Doge, Bells, and Lucky, and then who is mining Bitcoin and Fractal, right? It's two different groups of people. The one group is Bitcoin maxis who are just mining this to dump it to add Bitcoin. And you're seeing that every single day. Do I hold a bag? Yes. Do I want to play over there? Yeah, I think, Sats Pump Fund could be something special. But I just don't think Fractal, the coin itself, is going to see a new all-time high in the cycle. But I do think Fractal is a coin for next cycle, because in 2 years there's a halving, and I think that's really going to show a lot for Fractal. And I think next bull run, Fractal could be something special. But for the next 4 years, I think the top is in.
You think the top is in? So
Yeah.
that would be, if I go to all,
I want to
you're
say
looking at
$38, right?
36. So that's
Yeah.
where you think it gets back to? Is that what you're
I think
calling?
it
It gets back to around
close, but it never passes it. Yeah.
there? So around, what would be your final number there?
$35.
Okay. All right. All right. I'm actually
Am
going
I
to
wrong
go
on that,
a
guys?
little.
Let me know. Let me know if I'm
Yeah,
wrong with that.
let us know what you guys think as well on that price prediction for Fractal, because I'm curious of what the audience thinks with that. But I'm actually more bullish on the price, because I think that the buy pressure is going to come in aggressive, and you have to remember, if you look at the circulating supply of Fractal right now, if I zoom in here, it's at 8 million, right? FB.
Yeah.
So I think I did the math, and it was, or I did do the math, and I think it's going to be around 11 million in February. So I think that's perfect. So I actually think this gets substantially higher. I think this gets to something like 130. I know that's crazy, but I'm just going based off of math now, because I do think the miners are going to stop selling during that period, because they want to make as much as they can.
Bro. They'd
We'll
rather
see.
go in
We'll see.
Bitcoin. There's no way. This gets to 100, dude. I'll eat another hot chip. It's not happening. Not happening.
All right, we'll see.
This cycle.
We shall see. All right. So that's where I'm at with it. 130. He's at 35. But this is
Wow,
whenever,
dude,
like this is
bad
whenever
prediction.
I'm talking to. No, we'll see. You want to bet that I'm closer than you?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Let's make a bet that I'm closer than you. So
all right, let's go. We'll go plus or minus. We'll go $80. You're taking the over. I'll take the under.
$80. Okay. Yeah, I'll take the.
That's
I'll
in
take the
between
over.
where we both are.
So wait.
Okay, I'll take the under.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. All right. Next one here. All right, let's go to Bell's coin. This one's interesting. I actually personally picked up more Bells this morning, and maybe I'm crazy. But the price got down to like 79 cents again, and it's sitting right now at 83. Bells is a bit of a unique situation. It really does match up with Doge a lot in terms of, like, it is looked at as a meme first, and then a chain second. But that is exactly what it is. It's a meme chain, right? But it is a UTXO chain, and they're adding functionality to it, like Opcat is being added right now. It was added in testnet. There is a good leader for the community in Adam McBride, right? He's very experienced. He's good at talking. He jumps on these spaces. He's kind of led the community with like donating bells or whatever, right? That goes towards the organization. And then Tondo Wallet, the devs are from here, and it looks like other UTXO chains want them, right? So with that being said, I feel like the price, it's volatile, extremely volatile, right? And I would say, even though I don't like Lucky Coin as much because of what you said earlier, the one thing I do have to kind of hand it is the consistency. There's more consistency with price action with it. That being said, from the timeline though, and marketing, it looks like Bell's coin has more marketing. They're considered in that Three Amigos group with Litecoin and Doge in terms of the triple mining threat, right? But what do you think about Bell's, and what would you attribute to like the extreme volatility that it goes through?
Well, yeah. So you have to understand again who's mining this, right? The Dogecoin guys are mining this. The Litecoin guys are mining this. So, what is kind of happening right now is the belief for Bells and even Lucky isn't there right now, but I do believe it gets there once they see the gains that Litecoin and Doge are going to make. Let's just say Litecoin and Doge go up like 8x and 10x, right? For each of them between there. that's when it's going to get really insane for Bells, because everyone's going to be looking like, okay, is Bell's coin the new Doge? Is it the new Litecoin? And seeing it being a chain coin, seeing that Opcat and these upgrades are there, and they're willing to make changes to the chain to enhance usability. I think it's going to be it's going to take off. It might like surpass Litecoin and Doge in usage on chain, not market cap, obviously, but usage on chain. And that's going to be pretty massive. And I feel like Lucky and Bells are going to do really well after Doge and Litecoin push up. Again, I like Bells because of the people who are behind it, and I don't like Lucky for the people that are behind that. So that's just kind of where I say, but I think they both do really well.
Yeah, I think that was a fair breakdown. But one of the crazy things that I noticed, and I think you probably noticed this as well, is with the mining, the 3-coin mining, it's actually a 4-coin mining, but they never include Lucky to the marketing ever. Like even like our Eastern partner that is a big part of their business with BTV is mining, being able to kind of manage miners for people so they actually distribute them and sell them. They just pivoted to the script mining, UTXO script mining, right? And on the marketing, there's no pictures of Lucky. There's only pictures of Litecoin, Dogecoin, and Bells. And then they just kind of type it in at the bottom. You also get this much Lucky coin as well. So it's a little bit weird, but it seems like from a marketing perspective, those are the three that are trying to be pushed. And you're right. If Doge and Litecoin goes up, that's going to bring Bells up, I think.
Yep, 100%. Bells is going to do 100x, while Litecoin and Doge do 10, 20x's. Maybe not 20x's, 10 to 12x's. On like 8 to 12, I would say. So yeah, I think Bells easily gets to $40.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment there. Let me pull up my thing here where I'm taking your price prediction. So you say you think Bells gets to where?
I think Bells gets between 40 and 60. So I'm gonna go 50. I'm gonna go $50.
$50.
Where it's not a full 100x, but it gets really close.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking just now when you mentioned it, once Doge kind of takes off and Litecoin takes off, the people that are in both of those, there's going to be like a lot of miners that are in both, and then they're going to try to pump the heck out of Bells up. So I think from 80, rich. Yeah, I think from 83 cents, look, so someone was talking about halvings and stuff like that. So Bells actually just went through their last epoch, I think in November, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And so they have one more. They have one last epoch in May, which no more like halvings. That's what they call their halvings, because it's not necessarily the exact same time period or whatever. Or maybe it's not drawn out. And then the supply goes to 70 million with $1 million a year drip forever, right? So you're talking about 70 million supply that's going to be circulating, and then 1 million added each year for miners, right? So that is a little bit more than 3 times the total supply of Bitcoin. Obviously, it's a totally different demand. I know that. But in terms of a 70 million supply with a mining community trying to push it, it has the memeability. I think this thing can get really crazy, like $50 and 50, $75. So I'm gonna go with 75 on this. I think this is gonna push a little bit more than that. But it could even go higher than that, but we'll see.
Yeah. One thing about Bells too, real quick, it has way better tokenomics than any of the other 4.
All of them.
Tokenomics are just outstanding, and once people see that as well, that's when you're really going to see a massive push upward. And it's its own chain, like it's a chain coin. And
that's the thing too.
It has better tokenomics than Bitcoin.
Do you think people are going to develop on it? I mean, they have Nintendo now. They have like the Nintendo marketplace. They have the Ordinals, and then was it Bell 20 or whatever it's called?
Yeah. So I think once they get their version of Cat 20s, because I don't think they're going to bridge it over, they're going to create their own. Once Cat is pushed in January, they're going to have a better token standard than the Cat 20s. They're going to have their own version, Bell 20 or whatever you want to call it. But it will be a Cat 20 standard, and I think that standard could do really well.
Yeah. They have the motivation to build. I know that because we
Yeah.
have Adam on every 2 weeks with Bell's Corner, and one of the things he says is, "Come on, come over to the
Yeah.
chain. You know, if you're a developer, build. We want you guys to break it. Try to break it if you can." You know, imagine if Bell's chain tried to do something like Cardano, right, to where they actually have their own language script, or maybe they adopt Cardano's language, and then it's like an EVM type of thing. That is the one thing that's lacking in the UTXO ecosystem is a virtual machine. So hopefully that happens this cycle. I do think it happens. But Bell's is positioned very well, in my opinion, to actually have, you know, substance on their chain. We'll see though.
100%.
All right. Let's go to the next one, which, you know, isn't our favorite one, but you know, I think you got to give it props in terms of like the price action and the market cap. Lucky Coin is at $109 million market cap, so solid right there, man. It's higher than Bell's. It's higher than, you know, some of these other coins that we've talked about. Higher than Fractal, which is wild. But it's sitting at 906. This thing got as high as what? Let's see the all-time high here. 1621.
Wow.
And that was in November. 1621. The supply is low, right? So the max supply is right under Bitcoin. It's at 20 million. And this was forked, I believe, from Litecoin, right? Yeah, because I think
it was forked from Litecoin.
Yeah, it was because Litecoin was forked from Bitcoin, and then Lucky was forked from Litecoin. Anyways, so I don't know too much about like what actually happens on chain, but I did hear, you know, Danny Plainville kind of is taking the lead over here, and it looks like we might have lost Shizzy a bit.
I'll be right back. It happened again.
Gotcha. No worries. So a little bit about Lucky Coin is, you know, I think there was some stuff done to the chain to where they kind of hard forked it, maybe, possibly. I'm not sure. Yeah, sure. Maybe you know a little bit more than me on that. But at the end of the day, look, it has a community that backs it. It probably will do very well, as you know, heading into that time period of April, May, and it's going to be a part of this UTXO ecosystem, whether you love it or not, right? And again, you got to give props to the price action that it's maintained. But we'll see what happens here. Let's take a look at what markets it's on right now, though. You have it on MEXC, CoinEx, Ascend. I'm not familiar with Ascend, but it says BitMax, so maybe that's a rebrand there. And then non KYC, just as Bell's is as well. So it doesn't have the attention of the bigger centralized exchanges yet, but we'll see. Yasher says they have their own protocol as well. LKY20. Strong community, 2 different Telegram groups, 1 Chinese and 1 English. Hey, I mean, from that standpoint, seems like they got their stuff organized. Oh wow, I didn't know Binance was mining it. Yeah, so that's a big deal too, because Binance has been mining Bell's, Fractal, and then it looks like they have brought on Lucky as well. So, you know, when these larger entities are mining it, they're mining it and they're trying to figure out what to do with it. Sometimes they'll give rewards away to their users. They'll try to develop a program for it. I think they're in the process of doing that for Bell's. Maybe that's something they do for Lucky as well. Do you know if there's a marketplace, Yasher, for Lucky, like the LKY20s? Kind of like how Bell's has for Nintendo. That'd be interesting because, you know, on Bell's chain, you have, I think it's Nook, which is a Bell's 20. And that is a pretty popular one over there. I think it's over $1 million market cap, but that'd be cool if Lucky had something similar to that as well. All right, guys. Let's see what else you got. Okay, yeah, Yasher says there is a community for it. Mike Bennett wants us to check out Ordbit. Let's do that. Ordbit. Let's see what Ordbit is. Ordbit looks like it's on Uniswap, so that must be an Ethereum token. And a market cap is 8,000. That must not be the right Ordbit.
No. So Ordbit is that market exchange that opened yesterday for Cat 21s. Cat 721s.
Oh,
that's all that is. That's just the marketplace.
Gotcha. Yeah, let me see if there's any other coins for us to go over in the Bitcoin ecosystem. I mean, we have like Alex Labs. We talked about them last time, but is there any other ones? Because we hit on Lucky Coin. I guess like, what's your opinion? We haven't gotten your opinion about it.
Yeah.
Basically, I just broke down the fact that you got to respect the fact that they have had consistent price action. And Yasher said they actually do have their own protocol, LKY20. But what do you think about it?
Yeah, as like I said, as long as the grifters are in it, I just don't see this doing well. I'm sorry, Asher, you're the only reason why I like it. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't even
There's a
look
couple
at it.
other
But
community members as well that are in it, like
yeah,
Tim. I think Tim Bake's
yeah,
in
yeah,
it,
yeah.
and,
Tim
and a
Bake,
couple other
yeah,
people. So
100%. Yeah, but I just don't
but
like
so
it. I wouldn't be a part of that. So
what would you say that it gets to though?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't even
Your
want
emotions are
to put
your emotions are too tied to it.
I know. I just think those guys are so everything those
So
guys touch, they destroy. They destroy everything. So I think that all-time high is in, honestly.
Wow. So that $16. All right, I'm
Yeah.
gonna put 50. I think at least five X's. You say 1625. All right, cool. Cool. Oh, look at this comment from Gomo. He says lucky dies.
Lucky dies. I think it does. Honestly. I would say I wouldn't be surprised if this goes to 0.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Is there anything that we missed? Oh, let's go to core because we want to check out some
Core.
of the ones that we. Here we go. So
Core
core
is
actually.
interesting.
It is interesting, but I think one of the reasons why a lot of people in our space don't talk about it is because they don't really connect with the Bitcoin ecosystem community much, right? They're very corporate marketing style. And I think it is because they have like big investors, right? Look, they're on Coinbase, and so this is something that has been planned. You can tell they're on Coinbase. They're not on Binance though. That's interesting. But they're on a ton of other exchanges here. And you can see their volume, their 24-hour volume, 161 million. So that's not bad, right? The 1.3 billion market cap, though, and they have 928 million in circulation. So pretty solid there. I'm curious as comparing to Merle in terms of daily volume, what they look like. Let's see here. So Merle does about 20 million. So they're pretty high up there. Wow.
Yeah.
Goodness. Let's see where they get most of their volume from too. From OKX. So I don't know. Like, this is one that we need to dive into deeper. Maybe we reach out to their team, get them on the show. But do you want to make a prediction for this? Because you don't really know too much about it, neither do I. Circulating supplies in about almost right below $1 billion. If you were just to kind of throw a dart in the dark, what would you say this would get to?
I'll go with $22. I think that's
$22.
I think that's fair because it's a beta play on Bitcoin, right? It's going to be picked by Coinbase. I think Bitcoin DeFi is going to be such a big narrative, and Core is really going to take off for that for sure.
Yeah, I mean, they've definitely gotten their network right for them to get on to Coinbase like that, dude. This has been in the planning for a long time, right? So they
100%.
are, just to let everybody know, that they are Ethereum based. So you can be like EVM based and still be adopted by like these huge entities, right? Like Coinbase and stuff like that. So one thing I will say is that like I think that they do pretty well because of probably their investors, right? They probably have large investors that want to have some sort of return in the spring of 2025. So I say this gets to like $30. What did you say? You said
I think
22?
that's fair.
Okay,
I just wanted to. But one thing about Core, and I've actually spent some time researching them. So I've been on DeFi Llama checking out the protocols that are building there, and there's a couple of protocols here that have some pretty heavy TVL. I mean, you got Pell Network, Avalon, Finance, Decent, right? Core Network. So this is kind of like their own thing. But I did see like I think it's the restaking for Pell Network. one of these, and I'm not 100% sure if it is Pell, but they offer some serious yield for Bitcoin. Like M Bitcoin was on there, and here, let me show you. I think this is it
Oh
right
yeah, I
here.
remember that.
Launched
Like
it.
we went
Yeah,
over
we were
this
taking a look
together.
at it, and like there's some serious yield for Bitcoin here, and I think that's the game changer that I think a lot of people are looking at. So, but they can stake. They got Babylon, Bob. Here it is. So the staking for Bitcoin B on the TVL is 229 million, and you got staked BTC, which I think you get for staking it. That's like the the wrapped ETH,
Liquid.
or the staked ETH, the liquid staking. I mean, look, Solve BTC, FBTC, like there's a MBTC. There's a lot of Bitcoin potential yields here on Core. Core seems to be that Bitcoin place, and you could see something like Coinbase, for instance, because they're obviously trusted, utilizing that for their Bitcoin, their CB Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, man. I think this could really take off. I think this Pell network is definitely something to pay attention to.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And when we first heard about Babylon, we thought that, they were literally consuming that entire,
Yeah,
niche market. And then we were like, both of us were kind of like, but what do you get for that? You get the Babylon token, right? And at the time, we
yeah,
we're like, that's probably going to just get dumped. But now I'm thinking about it, this could be a huge part of like entity strategy, right? Is to
yeah,
stake Bitcoin and to earn. And so Babylon might be a lot bigger than we thought, right? Now,
yeah,
if they can find some stability with their token and give some more use case to it other than you just earn it for staking your Bitcoin, I think
yeah,
that would be very helpful. And then we're talking
yeah.
about like a possible new entity in our space, something like Tether or
100%.
something, if they can like build that out. So that's very interesting, that Core has that on there because they're backed by Bitcoin, like you said,
Yeah,
so, or not, they're backed by Coinbase. Sorry.
Coinbase. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's it. Anything we missed, do you feel like?
Not really. I think we hit on them all.
Yasher wants us to check this one, so let's check it
Okay.
for him. He says WMC. It is an Ethereum token, I
ERC20.
believe. Wrapped merit circle. Is that what you're talking about? There's no price tracked, it says.
Yeah,
So
I'm
I
not
can't
seeing it
see
either.
it on here. Yeah. Maybe if you want to send us the link for next time, we can definitely check that out. But yeah, guys, I think that's it for this ecosystem. We both are sticking to our guns, our conviction, right? The
Yeah.
Bitcoin ecosystem is going to be the main narrative for this bull run, whether that starts to get pushed heavily in early of 2025 or maybe towards the summer. We think it's going to happen. There's not really anything else that can compete with it. AI, but AI also gets intertwined with the Bitcoin ecosystem. You have
Yeah.
projects like Emblem Vault that are building AI agent wallets. You also have some AI rune tokens as well, with Butoshi and Cypher Genesis. So I don't know. I think you guys need to be ready for this. I'm positioning myself very well with this Bitcoin UTXO explosion in 2025.
100%. Let's fix this real quick. There you go. All right. I think we both fixed it together. But
That's so crazy.
But
like I did it before you even said that.
And then I did it. Yeah. All right. So yesterday, CB Spears came out and said tomorrow, which is today, we should cross over 5 billion in cumulative Ordinals marketplace volume, 2 years to the week of the first inscription. So wow, dude, $5 billion in Ordinals marketplace value in 2 years. That's pretty insane. I had no idea we're gonna hit that $5 billion mark already. It's pretty wild.
It is wild, but I think it's just the scratching the surface of the potential, right?
100%.
It also shows that even though the number of users is smaller over here, the impact that they have is greater per user than something like Solana, and that was proven in Magic Eden's data. And that's why Bitcoin got 1% more allocation and kind of pissed off the Solana users. So I think that like the more that our user base grows, that more that dollar amount just gets exemplified, right? Because it's the right type of user over here that's, looks at these assets as, man, these are valuable.
Yeah. 100%. All right. So massive ME claims flooded the market yesterday, putting significant downward pressure on the price. So let me show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. This is flipside crypto.xyz. They're actually showing the full claim and what's left. So 104 million have been claimed. ME have been claimed. I think we were saying yesterday it was like 70, maybe 80, or no, it was 90. It was 90.
Yeah.
14 million yesterday were claimed in one day. The initial claim is 125. The total claimed unclaimed is 20 million left. 16% of the supply is still unclaimed. I remember yesterday it was 30. So that's pretty massive. But this is why ME is down. So do you think these big guys are waiting for people to claim before they come in? Is that why we're not pushing upward momentum yet?
Probably, dude. Like, I was trying to figure
Yeah.
out what the heck is going on. I had plans. Every time I feel like I planned something out, like, there's
Never
always a
works out.
stick that gets thrown into the spokes of the tires, man. Like, I'm just kind of like, look, I'm in a
Yeah.
blessed position, like we all were that received this
Yeah.
airdrop, right, or whatever situation. I mean, I feel like every day we wake up, we should feel blessed, but I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do with strategy, right? Because now I'm kind of like, should I just stake half and then, sell down half? But I don't want to sell at these prices. And I think there's a lot of people like me right now because they're kind of like, okay, hyper liquid. They just keep reminding themselves about that. But I think you made a great point here. There's big whales that are looking at the ME claim. So it might make sense to really stake to, like, maybe to April, May, or March or April, and then the release will happen when the boom for alt season starts to happen.
100%. Yeah, no, I agree. And I think I played it really well. I don't think I've ever played anything better than I played this, and I'm probably gonna hate myself in April when because I sold down 70% of what I hold. I staked 1,000 for 4 years. That's kind of a Shizzy proof, as I call it. I can't. That's not possible for me to mess up. It's Shizzy proofed. I can't touch it for 4 years. So I'll have ME potentially for the next 4 years, and if it hits $100, I have $100,000 in 4 years. So I'm happy, right? So, that's something that I did. It's just locked away forever. And well, for 4 years. But I sold down. I sold a great portion of mine. So I'm very happy, and I waited too, which was awesome because I did sell some at 5. I sold a little bit at 4, and then I sold the majority at 650. So I'm very happy with that right now, and I put a lot of it in assets that I'm bullish on, like Dog and Bells and stuff like that. So I'm very, very excited about the opportunities that I now have because of this airdrop. But I mean, I'm really, I will hate myself when it does get to $100, and I'm like, damn, I had $1.5 million worth or some crazy number like that, So.
Yeah, but you put it in other assets though, right?
Yeah,
You spread it out, so you made yourself. And most of those assets were pretty solid assets, right? That you feel very convicted in, right? So I think that's all that matters. It's not like you got into other opportunities, and I think that's a smart thing to do, right? So
100%. Yep. But I still kept, good portion. I still have some liquid ME that I'm holding, and I have that 1,000 ME that I'm sitting on for 4 years. So, but that's just my crazy strategy. I don't, I could be completely wrong in a few weeks. And a lot of people on Twitter will probably call me out for that, but it is what it is.
How do you feel like someone that got like a 50,000 allocation played this? Because you definitely have to sell like off the top, right? Like some, right? Like 10,000 off the top or something, and then like decide what you want to do with the rest of the 40,000 or something like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, 100%. As soon as you got it, I would have. I mean, that much, dude. If I had 50, I would have sold 40,000 like that. Kept the 10.
40,000.
I would have. I think you have to sell 80% of this airdrop in the beginning. That's just my opinion. That's what I did, right? So I mean, and I'm happy with that strategy. So that's why looking back, I don't regret a thing.
Yep.
All right, move along here. So the pizza pets are now live trading on Magic Eden. Well, we don't really know much about these things. We're not Ninja holders, so we didn't receive this. But apparently, they were airdropped to a lot more than Ninja holders because 57,000. But I'm hearing though that most of these are going to die. So they're saying because a lot of people are going to accidentally kill them or their pizza pet because if you don't feed them, then they die. I don't know. It sounds crazy, but the person who was describing it on Twitter was saying there could be like 7,000 of these that are alive and like 40,000 that are dead by the end of this year because people just won't take care of them. So it's like if you can potentially make money by keeping yours alive because there's only going to be a certain amount of dead, and there's going to be more and more can die every day, but there'll only be a certain amount alive. How do you feel
Yeah.
about that?
I think it's like the Tamagotchis, right? I think those
Yeah.
are the like it came out in like I want to say was it the late 90s? Maybe when did this come out? Yeah, in 1996. It was like a little handheld
Yeah.
digital, like Game Boy type of graphics, black and white or gray or whatever the heck you want to call it, the 8-bit thing. And you had to keep it alive by feeding it and stuff like that. So this is pretty cool. I think it's similar to the Bitminer, but probably more effort that you have to put into it because you have to make
Yeah.
sure that they're not dying. But the Bitminers, at least like if you neglect it, you're just like,
Yeah.
okay, I just missed mining, whatever. But this, you could lose it. It dies and you're done. So
Well, yeah, exactly. But like what does that do for the live ones? Like selling an
makes
alive one.
them well, it makes them more valuable.
Yeah. So it's just like, if you did buy 10 of these and, you just keep them alive every single day, they could be really valuable in a year from now. And like, that's one of the Tamagotchis. I remember there was a thing in the back. You just pressed, you can reset it, right? There's no
Yeah.
resetting these. These are dead. You have to go buy a new one.
Yep, man. That's interesting, dude. That's interesting.
Isn't it interesting?
Like, I like it. I think
Yeah.
that this is what happens though when you have a business trying to put ideas together, right?
Yeah.
Like Trevor's a team. Like the Pizza Ninjas is not just Trevor that's by himself. He has a
Yeah.
team of people that are working together on this. And it's interesting, right? We saw this kind of business approach with the Bored Apes last cycle.
Yeah.
You're seeing very great success with the Penguins with Luca. By the way, he's a big
Yeah.
Ordinal collector. I don't know if you knew that, but
Oh,
he's
no.
huge on OMBs. By the way, he had a recent podcast,
Yeah.
so he's big on OMBs and ZK Sharp. But anyways, so Pizza Ninjas is doing the right thing. They're being original, creative, and I absolutely love this. I love it.
Yeah.
More of this, please.
Yeah, I love it too. I kind of hope that yeah, I hope we do see more of this because this is really cool. But dude, I might get a few. Set an alarm on my phone for 9 a.m. before the show starts and just go on and just make sure my pizza, because if I can keep 10 of these alive, I mean, I can buy them for sitting here. I'll wait till the reveal because it usually dips on reveal. So I might buy a couple off the floor for right now they're what, $50 off the floor for 10, $20. Hold them for a year, keep them all alive, and potentially sell them for $50, $100, because let's just say 47,000 died. There's 10,000 left. I mean,
Yeah.
So, and the
no.
thing is too, I'm hearing that they can evolve potentially down the line, a parent-child. So that would be pretty cool too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Definitely would be pretty cool. There's a lot of them. You said 57,000, and you were talking earlier, kind of shocked that there's so many, but it makes sense now because there's probably gonna be a lot that die off. Not everybody's gonna pay attention to it, but I love this because it gets the Ordinal community involved with the project. Like they have to make it an effort, or their Ordinal dies, right? So when you do that, it's kind of like. It's like, sports card collectibles and all those collectibles with the sports industry and even like coins and stuff. That didn't happen like overnight or even a month or a year. You had to curate a strong community that cares passionately about those things. And that's what we're going through with this digital art industry, right? Is at first it was all about money. And that's typically how it is with humans, and so now we're doing stuff like this, and I think this is great. It's going to be great for the future of collectibles, digital art collectibles and stuff like that.
And think about this. You know how we keep saying uncommon goods is a play on the mempool? This is actually a mempool play.
It is
500 sats per V-byte. You got to feed this damn thing. So keeping it alive is going to get even more expensive, bro. Like if you get these, keep this thing alive, you could make boku bucks, bro. It's wild. It's kind of cool now. I think about it. I'm actually getting excited.
I think
I'm gonna pick up some tomorrow.
miners probably like it, but I mean, I don't think it's going to have that big of an effect on miners yet. But imagine if other collections like follow this method, then miners are going to be happy and be like, "Oh, BRC 20 season 2." You know what I mean?
And think of this too. Someone can now build on top of Pizza Pets by creating like a Pokemon type game where I can battle yours, but if I kill it, it's dead. You know what I mean? Because now we're risking it. You're risking it for the biscuit there. Let's just say we both have to put up, $100. I battle you. I win. I win the $100, but your Pizza Pet dies.
Yeah, and they might add different like attributes of
Yeah.
like, you know, maintaining it, like training it or something.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Pokemon, you have to train your Pokemon to get
Dude.
it stronger, and so that's
Yeah.
might be something that they're doing with this. So, I think other projects will probably try to piggyback off of this. And you know, there was
Yeah.
something that jumped into the spaces yesterday. And they're like, Bitcoin gaming is going to change things. And when you first think about that, you're like,
Yeah.
how? Like Bitcoin's slow and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I think what's happening is there's a bunch of creative people coming over here that have like actually passion to build something that they're not
Yeah.
going to make money right off the bat from. And so, you know, that's where I think, you know, Bitcoin could actually be something awesome for the
Yeah.
gaming industry in Web3.
100%, dude. I'm actually looking forward to this. And you got to remember too, we heard about Pizza Pets, I want to say like January. So this wasn't
Yep.
anything easy. This is like, it's not a copy and paste type of thing. They got to build everything for it. There's probably going to be a site where you have to go to and stuff like that. And I don't know how they're going to kill it. I'm just curious of how it's going to work. It's going to be fun. I might pick up some. We'll see.
Yep,
I read
yep, yep.
somewhere that at some point the pet becomes immortal. Oh no, I don't like that.
Maybe,
I don't
but
like
unless
that.
you might have to reach like some crazy level though, like
Okay.
where it's almost impossible to get to.
I want like 47 of them and 1,000 to die off. So there's only 10K. All right. I got a couple more things here before we get into a Fluid Friday. I know we're a little over already, but this is some really cool stuff. So I seen this. It is a violent repricing for Bitcoin puppets and no monkeys as ordinals lag behind Ethereum NFT mania. Because people are saying pups could be what potentially what penguins are. Yeah, or no monkeys could be with 100,000. Do you see a violent repricing happening, or is that just a pipe dream?
No, I do see a violent repricing happening. Yeah, I do see
Yeah.
it happening. I just think right now, the focus is on Ethereum NFTs because they've
Yeah.
been neglected for so long, right? And a lot of the hard work from you know, Luca and Pudgy Penguins is starting to come to fruition, and it's
Yeah.
benefiting the entire ETH sector. Now, a lot of them are the blue chips that are benefiting, right? Which is
Yeah.
expected because, like, even in our space, like blue chips do take a lot of the attention.
Yeah.
Like when we have the ordinal run up like we did last year, Q4, you know, the blue chips started it, and then some of the other collections benefited from it. But you had
Yeah.
even then you probably had like a pretty tight window, right? Like maybe a month
Yeah.
or so to get out in and out of those other collections. I think the same thing's going to happen here. But I think like yes, I think repricing happens because now ordinals are being neglected, right?
Yeah.
We know what they were. And if we think that there's going to be like a digital art renaissance boom in
Yeah.
ordinals, then we have to imagine they should be higher than what they were before. Now, is that going to happen? I don't know. We shall see. But I definitely think that they're gonna have like an aggressive thrust up.
Yeah. I agree. I actually think we could see Bitcoin puppets at 0.5, dude, within the next couple 2 months. I'm kind of like, I don't own any either. So I'm just sitting there like, damn it, man. Should I do this? But like, I like to be liquid, man. I like to be in assets I can trade it away, but you can do that with puppets and node monkeys, right? So,
Yeah,
man, I'm
those
really
are pretty
debating
liquid.
if I should get into one of these. I don't know.
I've been thinking about it too, actually.
Yeah.
But and the thing is right now is the optimal time because
Yeah.
you know the closer we get, they're gonna start jumping. Now, I do think that the fungibles do got to move first,
Yeah.
so we do have some time with that because right now, basically, both like sectors are just kind of stagnant, right?
Yeah.
So I think we'll still have like time. I do think like the blue chips will go up a little bit when runes are running, maybe like in January, February, whenever that happens.
Yeah.
So you'll still have time, but they're going to be more expensive than they are now, I think.
Well, speaking of fungibles, we're seeing
Woo!
some repricing here.
Yeah.
Billion Dollar Cat is under 90 million for the first time in a long
Ugh,
time.
I don't like that.
Billion Dollar Dog Go to the Moon is sitting at 920, which is pretty even. I wouldn't even say that's real there. Pups is down to 80%, 8%, sitting at 232 million. Gizmo's down 13%. Lobo's down 3, Decentralized down 8. So you are seeing some stuff up, some newer stuff, but like, what do you think? What are you thinking, man? Is this the time to be buying this stuff, or do you think we got to wait for Bitcoin to kind of decide what it wants to do first?
I think these are still great pickups. I think BDC is a
Yeah.
great pickup at that price.
Yeah.
Does it go down further? Possibly. Other than Dog of the Moon and a little bit of pups, like everything else has just been kind of bleh, right? Like
Yeah.
I think BDC got back to like 110 maybe or something
Yeah.
like that, but there hasn't been a move up like Dog of the Moon. Dog of the Moon got up to 960. So and I think that was probably kind of forced, right? Because at that point it's
It
like
feels that
if it
way.
was if it was organic, then everything else would have flowed, but it didn't happen, right? So I just think like that ME expectation kind of forced a Dog of the Moon to get up to like 940, 960. And now we're just kind of like, okay, well, that wasn't a true like runes run up. So we're just waiting on when it's going to happen.
Yeah, man. I agree. I agree. All right, I think that's it for my banners here. I guess it's time to get into our favorite portion of the Fridays, which is the Fluid Fridays. All right, let's kind of get into it. So Fluid is started off, back in early this year. They as a borrowing and lending of ordinals. They kind of moved to the swap. If you did make a swap, you got one of these things called the Fluid Pass. The Fluid Pass is your way to get the FLDT token. What is the FLDT token? Well, it's a Cardano token that is one-to-one with the FLDT rune. The FLDT rune, the Fluid Tokens rune, has not been etched yet, but it will be soon. And when it is, you can stake these Fluid Passes that you earned for free by doing a swap that I begged you to do for months. You got these passes. The black ones are going to earn you a nice one. You're going to stake that pass, and you're going to earn FLDT rune. We recently got some huge updates from them now that their staking platform is live, and it is phenomenal. Do you want to break down the new updates that Raul was just talking to us about yesterday?
Yeah. So first things first. If you do have a Fluid Pass staked for that Bitcoin reward, make sure that you go and unstake it. That's the first step that you got to do. It should be one transaction to unstake, and you'll get your Bitcoin reward in that same transaction as well as your Fluid Pass. So that's the first step that you guys need to do. Secondly, you need to keep your eyes open and ears open, and you need to watch Ordinal Revolution Monday through Friday from 11 to 12:30 p.m. Eastern, because you need to know once that staking vault reopens for the Fluid rune, because you want to get in there and you want to start earning, because there's going to be a window of when it opens and closes, and then once it's closed, you can't get in, right? Now you got to remember, this is for a rune that is what they're trying to do is make it one token between the rune and Cardano. So 1-to-1 bridging over. They are the architecture of the Cardano Bitcoin bridge, guys. So they're utilizing this to be able for you guys to be able to bridge 1-to-1 over and back. Now, these guys are super talented, as you know, especially if you've been watching our channel. So that's the second thing. Just make sure you are constantly on, have your eyes open and ears open for once the second stake is open. You guys are going to have access to this token before TGE, right? So you're going to be able to earn it before like anybody like tries to invest in it or anything like that. So that's the second thing. There is a big partnership that I just want to like throw up and tell you guys about, but we can't tell you. We're gonna let them announce that first, but it is huge. I'll say that. It's in this Bitcoin space. They did announce that they are building also the lending protocol on Arch Network. So you guys that watch our Arch Thursdays should be pretty excited about that. So their lending is going to be in that network. It's going to be quick, one-click type lending. So that's another update for them. Did they say we could tell how much the reward's going to be for the staking pass? Okay.
Yep.
So they are actually providing 300,000 FLDT runes tokens for the staking reward for this new staking vault that's coming up. So you can see the price right there.
$40,000 will be given to stakers, and there's only 1,000 passes. So you guys can do the math. And if you have a black one, you're going to get it takes 3 of the tier 3s that equal 1 tier 1, 2 of the tier 2s that equal 1 tier 1. The tier 1's the one you want to have. Or you can have 3 of the tier 3s. That's up to you. But guys, there's $140,000 of free money. Like, you're not trading your pass.
That's before the price even goes up.
That if this gets to $1, I mean, that's 300,000, which we both think that it can get to. So if you do not have a pass, I mean, you can probably still get them. I'm not sure. I think we talked about this before, but if you have a Fluid Pass, and I have a bunch. I have a bunch of these passes.
I think you misspelled Fluid.
Yeah, I did. Fluid. No, Fluid's right, but Pass was wrong.
Okay.
My Magic Eden's kind of going slow on me.
Gotcha. So one other thing too, is that because they are building in the Arch network,
Oh,
you
know
gotta
what? That's why.
you gotta imagine that they are going to be adding their rune token to liquidity pools with Saturn decks, guys. So this is going to
Yeah.
be probably something that you guys can trade on day one. That's not officially a statement from their team or anything, but you know, because they are building in Arch as well, I imagine they have that connection already. So, you know, that's a rune that you probably could be able to trade, like similar to Radium or, you know, Min Swap from Cardano or Uniswap from Ethereum, right? So, I think it's really exciting times for this team and Raul. You know, they're already have a great reputation in Cardano. They're building an amazing reputation over on Bitcoin, and they're innovative, guys. You know, that's how they earn that partnership that we can't tell you about. And believe me, you're gonna know, when you find out, you're gonna be very impressed, I think, and excited for this team as we are.
Yep. And guys, like you have to remember too, not all the passes will be staked. You see on the last vault, there's only 200 passes got staked. So the less that's staked, the more you're gonna earn, right? So that's a thing too. If you go there and you see 200 passes staked, you're gonna earn a lot of FLDT. And so how to maximize your staking the fee. So there will be a fee to stake. That's how Fluid makes their money. But if you do 13, which is the max, you can maximize that with one fee. If you do one and then pay the fee, one and pay the fee, you're not maximizing your gain. So maximizing your gain would be to stake up to 13. That's to say if you have 13, or maybe if you have 12, it might be worth just grabbing that one more, stake the whole 13 and just letting it ride. But that's not financial advice. These can go down in price. Who knows? But I don't think, and this is nothing I got from the team, but I don't think this is the last time these things will be staking. Imagine staking, earning, staking, earning, staking, earning forever with these passes. I mean, I don't know if that's going to happen, but I think it's something that could happen. So
Yep. And I think that wraps it up with the update. So the biggest thing that we want you guys to you know, I guess take an action on is if you do have a Fluid Pass staked right now in their staking vault, unstake that, get your reward, and then be on the lookout for the next staking vault, which should be opened. I want to say he said about 2 weeks. Did he say?
No, next week.
Next week that new staking vault will so we'll update you guys once that is available for you guys to stake into it. We're super excited about it.
Yep. So fluidtokens.com, go to your staking, you're staked, unstake that, get your Bitcoin. I made about $300 in free Bitcoin. I had 13 of these staked, as you can see, and I made about $300. I mean, win-win, right? You can see your estimated reward and everything. So once the new vault locks for the passes, you'll see how much you're earning, and you can even put that on your portfolio because that is locked in once that staking vault locks. So then check that out. If you're looking for passes, just go to Magic Eden, type in Fluid Passes. It's all right here for you guys. And then the staking vault will go live next week. Very bullish on this. Like I said, I'll be participating. I'm probably going to wait, see if we get a little closer. Maybe I'll be able to get some of these cheap. So if you do want to sell your passes, list them now for the people who want to get in there, because if you list them cheap enough, I'm going to grab a bunch of these, but I'm going to wait, see how many is getting staked. And if it's 200, dude, I might go hard with these. I'm not even joking.
Woo! Yep.
We will see.
I mean, Yasher says this Fluid is great, just great. Yeah, I mean, this is what we talk about when some people are like, oh, they just bring on anybody as their partner. No, we do. Yeah. We do a lot of vetting. We make sure if there's not a good feeling, guys, we don't go into partnership with anybody. And so there was a great feeling with Raul from the jump. We had him on a space and stuff before, so we could identify that, kind of like Jeff, that this guy has something. He's not going to just build something quick and then be gone. You won't be able to find him. Exactly. So, I think that wraps it up for Fluid Fridays, right?
Yeah. Real quick though, we hit 1015.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Price. Pretty nuts, dude. Pretty nuts. But I think that's it for our Friday, guys. I really appreciate every single one of you guys.
Yep. Without you guys, we can't do what we love to do, right? And so we definitely appreciate you guys for that. But more than anything, I say this every show. I'm going to continue to say this in every show. Make sure that you took one thing from the show that you learned from today. That is our number one goal for every show. But again, nothing is financial advice on here. It's really just to guide you guys through this crazy market of Bitcoin and Bitcoin ecosystem. But again, we thank you guys, 315 people tuning in with us. If you wouldn't mind just checking out our partners, if you have a little bit extra time. Emblem Vault is going to be the interoperability tool for the Bitcoin Layer 1 space. They're going to be able to allow you to jump puppets, node monkeys from Bitcoin Layer 1 to Merlin, from Bitcoin Layer 1 to Solana, Ethereum, other chains that they're going to go into. They're going to announce some big partnerships that they had, and so stay tuned to their X channel as well. But they're also wrapping up their AI agent wallet, which I think is going to be huge. So they're wrapping that up for the Bitcoin ecosystem. So you're going to be able to actually use like a ChatGPT LLM model and say, hey, you do have to connect your wallet in the very beginning, but once you connect that, you're good. You're like, buy me, $15,000 billion cat, and then as long as you have Bitcoin in your wallet, they'll do it. So it's really, really exciting. You can learn more about them at emblem.vision. And then BetBTC is the predictions market of the Bitcoin ecosystem. They utilize ICP and Bitcoin technology for you guys to be able to place bets with your Bitcoin. If you have an Xverse wallet, you will be able to deposit directly from Xverse to BetBTC's platform. You do have to have some Bitcoin in there, and it takes 6 blocks. But they have really fun bets on there, like will Dog Go to the Moon be listed on a tier 1 centralized exchange before December 31st of 2024, and other Bitcoin related bets, as well as sports bets as well. So check those guys out at betbtc.win and sign up for an account and you get 50 points. They're doing a points type farming system for, possibly future Rune type of TGE event. So that's a big one that we are on as well in terms of the future of that team. And then BitPerp is the perps and leverage decks of the Bitcoin ecosystem. They are going to be continuing their paper trading competition next week. It's going to be on Botonics. The first price is going to be, I think, 10,000 USDT. That might be split up between top 3, but I do know that is in the prize pool, as well as 50,000 BTP tokens, guys. So if you win the BTP tokens, you get access to that before the TGE as well. You're going to be able to trade runes, BRC20s possibly, but I know runes for sure is something that they're focusing on in the future. You can learn more about them at bitperp.io. Of course, Fluid Tokens. We just talked about those guys. Amazing devs. Raul and his team started on Cardano, on Bitcoin, building, innovating, first retail user staking vaults to the public. If you are a founder of an Ordinal collection, or you deployed a Rune or BRC20, reach out to Raul if you want to get your holders to be able to stake their assets and earn. All you have to do is provide the reward, and he will hook you up. If you can't get through to him, reach out to us. We'll get you connected. Check them out, fluidtokens.com, and click on the Bitcoin side to check out their vaults. And then Merlin Chain is your #1 scaling solution for Bitcoin native L1 assets and protocols. If you are a builder that have built on Bitcoin Layer 1, but you also want to have a presence on these Bitcoin Layer 2s, reach out to Merlin Chain. They'll get you set up. You can apply for their builder grant, which a couple of our partners already applied and got approved for. It's not super easy. You do have to show that you are dedicated and that you are a serious builder and you're going to be around and you want to innovate. But it doesn't hurt to apply for that. They have amazing builder support. And if you are a retail user and want to buy something like Dog Go to the Moon, a little bit easier in a more Uniswap type environment, you can go over to merlinswap.org and use your rep BTC to purchase Dog Go to the Moon, or the Bitmap token, which is also a Rune. So check those guys out as well. And then also our integrated partners, guys. Foxy is building the metaverse on Bitcoin, the Bitverse, and then Ordinal Hive is an aggregator Ordinal marketplace for Layer 1 and Merlin Layer 2. And we thank you so much for checking out our partners.
Yep. Great job on that. If you guys wouldn't mind going over to check out ordinalrevolution.com, we have some of the best articles dating all the way back to last year. If you know someone just entering the space, send them our website. We really feel like it can help them get started and get caught up to exactly where we are today. If you guys need a VPN, we have a lot of VPNs here, but Nord is probably my favorite in the space. I would definitely check them out. You can get a 70% off coupon here. It's like $2.99 a month, guys. You cannot and should not be traveling the metaverse that we're in here without a VPN. Use a VPN, use Nord, use our link here. It helps the show. If you guys need Bitcoin 2025 Las Vegas tickets, we have them here, guys. Do not wait for next year to get them, though, because, for instance, the Whale Pass was going for $3,000 in, I want to say, December of last year. And then right as Bitcoin Nashville happened, they were $30,000. So these tickets can easily 10x. Supply and demand, guys. Supply and demand. And right now there's a lot more supply than demand. Get your tickets as soon as possible. Use our link. If you guys need merch, we have some of the best merch. It's hoodie season, guys. It's hoodie season. Get your hoodies. I got mine. I love the one I got. If you got to go here, just go to hit the hoodies. We have so many amazing ones. This one is personally my favorite. I love it. I love when people read it because they have no idea what it means. But we, as Bitcoiners, this is everything. This is what is in the Genesis block. Chancellor on the brink of second bailout for banks. Guys, I love this hoodie, and I think you guys should too. But we have so many more hoodies as well. We got Ordinals. This is the Curse Goose. Then we have the Bitmap. We have Seiko Hamster, Memento Memore, Puka, Gizmo. I have a 401B, Billy Cats, Ordinals, and so much more, guys. Check out all of our stuff here. We have so much. And if you guys want something added, just let us know. We can pretty much add anything. We can add your PFP if you want us to. No problem at all. Reach out to us on X. I'm at Shizzy Sats. He's at Yagobi Verse. And then we're together at Ordinal Revolution. Check us out on X. But guys, we are live Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 4 p.m. UTC. Check us out all week. Mike Bennett says, I got a dog hoodie. Shout out to Mike Bennett. Love you, my friend. Oh, he got the Curse Goose hoodie. Let's go. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. And on that note,
peace.
We OG, we OG. Oh no, G. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload, yeah. Experts on reload, yeah. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Experts on reload. Man, pool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock, ayy. Runes is coming, everybody on a knot, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal Revolution, ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro. Got French right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro. Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, lock it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nookies on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls. Bet I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me.